dear, adorable little girl was born last March, and her name is Brenna Grace, and I have a picture of her. Can I see Brenna? Look at that face. Could you just die? She's just precious. That's BG. Brenna Grace, and I remember holding her when she was like a week old, and she just fit right here. I could use this arm, which is good because I talk with my hands, and she just snuggled and all sweet. I remember looking at her little face and just thinking about all the things I was gonna teach her about God and Christ and shoes, and it was just gonna be so great. And, you know, big things, and it was important, you know, and I just remember how snuggly she was. But over the last year, I spent a lot of time with Brenna. I see her pretty much every week, a couple times a week, and I've watched her grow, and I've discovered she's now 13 months old. In the last few months, we've begun to see, and I do have her mother's permission to share this with you, so it's okay. You know the whole thing about we're born sinners? That sweet little angel baby face is a sinner. Let me tell you how I know. My friend, her mom's name is Regina, and my friend Regina, when I were meeting this week to discuss this message, and I'm asking her, can I talk about your child in this message? And she's like, sure, talk about it. And as we're discussing it, Brenna has taken some object that she found, and we had her on the floor, and she was letting us talk, and was banging it on the wall. And Regina said, no, in that firm mom voice that she's developed, which I can't wait for mine to kick in. No, I mean, I can wait, don't get excited. But I just want the voice, not necessarily the kids. But she's banging on the wall, and she said, no, and she kind of looked at her, and she smiles, because she knows she's got the cute smile, and she banged it against the wall again, and Regina said, no. And then she looked for a minute, and she kind of did this. And then she looked Regina dead in the eye and went, which I equate to, now what? I did it. Then she went to timeout, where she sat against the wall like she was dying. And watching her do that, I realized that this scripture that God had brought me to start this message was absolutely true, because in Genesis 8:21, it tells us that every inclination of a man's heart is evil from childhood. Now it's funny, because I'm talking about somebody else's kid. Doesn't affect you at all. But what you have to realize is that verse is about every single one of us. Every inclination of man's heart, for today's sake, let's say woman's heart, because I don't want you to get confused. Every inclination of a woman's heart is evil from childhood. That means that the heart that we've been saying you need for this journey starts off evil. So how can it possibly be the thing that you need for this journey if it starts off evil? Surely God doesn't want you to take this evil heart, and you need this evil heart to go on this journey with him. But the answer to that question is that heart has to be purified. See, what we find out in Matthew chapter 5, verse 8, it says, blessed are the pure of heart, for they will see God. And that's not just talking about once you die and go to heaven because you're a Christ follower, you're gonna see God. We're looking forward to that. We wanna do that. That's gonna be a party, and I wanna be in the front row of that party. But it's not just that. When it's saying see God, it's talking about having an intimate knowledge of God. That means you can, in your everyday life, recognize God active. That means the